Hello everyone, this presentation is a review of plagiarism. Please make sure you watch all the way to the end, and most importantly, send me any email message if there are questions or if there's anything you're not sure about with this presentation. Thank you. So far the tutorial and worksheet should have taught you the definition of plagiarism, exactly what it means, and really important is the ASCC policy on plagiarism, why you just shouldn't do it, and then what can you actually do to prevent it, because that's the key. How do you find it? How do you fix it? And then how do you prevent yourself? Because from now on, it's not accepted in any future papers. Okay? So let's look at the definition. Basically, plagiarism is taking someone else's work or idea and making it your own. Okay? It means to steal and to pass off the ideas or words of someone else as your own ideas and words. Okay? What are some examples of that? When you copy and paste directly from the internet, when you copy a quote and just change a few words, it's still not your direct, there's actually still not authentically your words, okay? To take ideas from different authors and then not give them credit. To pay someone to do your paper, or to reuse an old paper for a different class. These are all considered plagiarism. These are all examples, okay? This is really important, and I hope you guys memorize this for classes you're taking this semester and any future courses, the ASCC policy on plagiarism. Students caught will be reported to the Dean of Student Services to be disciplined and or counseled, which may result in probation, suspension, even expulsion, in accordance to the severity of the action. Now, since you understand what plagiarism is, and now when you look at this ASCC policy, you know exactly what ASCC is talking about, okay? No one should be in confusion about what plagiarism is. No one should be in confusion as to what the ASCC policy is for students caught doing plagiarism. Okay, let's go over again why you just shouldn't do it. So in addition to the ASCC policy, these answers right here, these are all answers from your worksheets. Okay, so this is what you are telling me. You are telling me you just should not do it, and you are telling me because it's wrong. Some of your papers have said, well, actually all your papers say it's dangerous. You all admit that it's actually considered to be stealing. Okay, so there should be no confusion as to what it is, because this is from your worksheets. Okay, so I really want to make sure we are clear on this point. Okay, now how do you avoid it? Now that we know what it is, which means we're not gonna put down things, copy and paste word for word without identifying where we got it from. So we're not gonna steal because it's dangerous and because we know it's wrong. The next thing we were going to do is we're going to make sure to use proper citation for someone else's ideas, right? So you know it's wrong, and you know that now when you do use it, you have to cite where you get the information from. When you do your copy and paste, when you do your direct quotes, when you do your paraphrase, when you do your summaries, you have to write down APA. Citation is typically open parentheses, author's last name, date, close parentheses. That's the basic structure for any kind of citation APA. Now, what about MLA? Okay, now all of you that have come to class know that MLA is basically the same thing, except instead of the date of publication, you have to put down the page number. And all of this is enclosed in parentheses. Okay? If there are any questions about that, you need to let me know, because this is how you avoid plagiarism is you cite properly. Now, these are just some additional options just to make sure you avoid plagiarism in your future papers. 1, read your paper thoroughly and completely before you forward it to me. Okay? Make sure that you have citations in there. Make sure any kind of copy and paste has been cited using APA or MLA right here, number 2. Okay, the other thing that's important, in addition to your citations, remember there are also other requirements for APA and MLA. So that's the basic paper format, and especially the sources that you cite either on the reference page or the works cited page. Make a reference list right here, and that's what I'm talking about in our next point. Make sure you have a reference list on a separate piece of paper while writing, so that you will not forget any reference to cite in the final paper. So I have a little form, but that's the last slide, that gives you a little tip sheet on how to make sure that as you're writing your paper, you are keeping track of all of your sources. Okay? Lastly, and this is something else that I think will be helpful, there are online sites like Grammarly and Qtext. And what you can do, find a reliable one, but you can upload your paper and you can use an online app to check your own work. And it's going to tell you, for example, okay, we have noted 14% plagiarism on page 1, 10% plagiarism on page 2, etc. And they will identify for you what is plagiarized in your paper. So what do? If these checkers show that something is plagiarism, what do? I'm going to give you a second to give me the answer. Yes, that's what you do. You make sure to provide quotation marks or proper citation if you have not done so. Okay? So that's the answer to that. Use a plagiarism checker and make sure to check all of these things before you give me your paper. Right here on our last slide, and this is something that you got in your online plagiarism tutorial. He said that if you just had a little worksheet where for everything that you are getting from the internet or from your sources, you write down the quote, you write down the idea, and then also where you got it from. Now, if you are keeping a form like this as you go through and write your paper, this should help to make sure you know where to put the in-text citation, whether for an APA paper or whether it's an MLA paper. Okay? So that's the end of this slide, this particular presentation. If there are any questions, you need to email me. Okay? Email me in Moodle if there are any questions about plagiarism. Thank you.